Flame on! How's everybody doing? I'm here with my special guest, Taladia Plays. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? How's everyone doing today? What a week we've had for Sparking Zero news.
Indeed.
It's been a crazy since we last collab. It's been a crazy moment.
Whew. I mean, we got the official dates, we got more trailers, and even some DC news coming out, both gaming and in comics with the current summer blockbuster event. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. But before we get started, quick recap. I know I'm moving into my new apartment. Things have just been crazy the past couple of weeks, so I've caught up. I've done my research, and I'm just glad to be back on YouTube with my extended Comics League family. So I'm glad to be back, and I recently found this out today. Over 250 subscribers. Thank you so much. I am truly humbled. And let's see if y'all want to see me react to Velma both seasons. Give me to 300 before the end of the year.
And you still owe us that Gotham Knights.
Hey, I know. And part 2 of Gotham Knights, the TV show. I still owe y'all that. Okay.
You still owe. No, you said you would do it. You said you were going to do a reaction to it.
And I did. I reacted to the first 4 episodes. Now I got to react to the other 4 episodes because I had technical difficulties that night. You were there for that stream. You remember that?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, I thought you were. Then who did I collab for that stream? Was that Jared from Comics League? Anyway, okay. We'll set that up. We'll set that up off stream. We'll set that up. But with that being said, Taladia, how you been, man?
Been busy, man. Been busy.
Oh. Of course, but are we gonna play the trailers, or are we just gonna comment without the trailers?
Okay, we'll talk about the gameplay first. Let's see if I can get the gameplay up.
While we're waiting on that, this game, Sparking Zero, Budokai Tenkaichi 4, this game has the potential to be 2025's game of the year. It has momentum. It has a lot going for it. The graphics, the mechanics, in-building combat. I mean, this could easily be heavy contender for 2025's game of the year, or at least top 5. But it does have some competition if recent announcements are anything to go by. It does have some competition.
Let me get rid of the ads because I've got ads on my thing. So let me I just gotta make sure there's no audio, no commentary. It's
from what I've seen so far. Okay, go ahead.
It's a 1 minute and 58-second video. Ultra Instinct Goku. Can you screen share?
Sure.
All right, ready?
Ready.
Let me make sure I put the volume down.
Yeah, volume down because of copyright. Yes.
There we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, let me make sure. Is that 60 FPS?
Yep. 1080p.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
There's no place for you on this stage. Take your leave at once.
Ultra Instinct.
Just give up. You can't beat me.
Here we go. You have Goku's G. Full G as well.
This actually gives me confidence because I really thought this was going to be a Xenoverse situation where UI and MUI were OP.
You got his dice. Look at that.
Smooth.
What immaturity?
Nice counter animation. It doesn't disappoint.
Turn anger into power.
Let's see what this ultimate can do.
For God's sake.
Dice.
Your retribution.
This is Goku's ultimate.
Because I challenged you to this fight, I was able to identify.
There you go.
Be
That's
unstoppable.
that's the weakness. What do you think, Jay Heat?
Not bad. Not bad. Oh, they definitely balanced out the actual mechanics and the actual you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because it's, when they first debuted on Xenoverse 2, they were massively overpowered. Players online in battle mode used to spam them all the time. So they
And
definitely improved. Go ahead.
This is on another level. The people who are playing this were probably experienced players.
I agree.
So, this is why I'm saying that the way I see it is that this game is probably going to be a game of the year.
Heavy contender for game of the year. You have the momentum and higher than as recently has been since the Dragon Ball Renaissance and Battle of God. Genuine respect for Akira Toriyama's passing, and it's practically Budokai Tenkaichi 4. The momentum for this game and hype is enormous.
It's hugely enormous there.
And we're getting What If.
Yeah,
heavy contender for game of the year. Heavy contender for game of the year next year.
But you know what's also going to add to this? It's coming to Evo.
Yep.
It's coming to Evo this year. They're going to show some more stuff there.
Okay, I'm hype. I'll admit, I'm hype.
So, myself and Jay Heat are going to be covering Dragon Ball Sparking Zero when there's a trailer drops. You know that we're going to cover that regardless, right?
Regardless.
I've already got the game pre-ordered. I got the Ultimate Edition. I was like, nope, I'm not going to go for the Deluxe Edition. I have to go Ultimate. I have to go for the Ultimate Edition because of the fact of what you get with the game. Dragon Ball Daima content, superhero content, Super Senran, you get to summon him. Anime music as well involved in this. Oh my god. I'm definitely going to be streaming this on Twitch.
Definitely.
So I can't wait for myself and Jay He to do battle live on Twitch.
May the best man win, man. May the best man win.
So there's not only that happened, but there was also some gameplay footage out there. I don't want to get copyright claimed or anything like that, but it was at an event. Just people were playing it and got to experience the game. And my God, the gameplay looks really, really good from the last time we saw it, right?
It does.
But it's one of those games that I just think, what also intrigues me is the fact that we finally got some gameplay for other characters besides the one we already know, right?
Right.
So that was pretty cool. And I saw some TN gameplay. I saw 18 gameplay. I saw some Bergamo gameplay. I saw a mixture of those. We never got to see those, properly. So I saw them online. You can look them up online and you can see for yourselves. And let's just say Hercule came on stage last night because I was watching the Anime Expo or whatever, because they had Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and whatnot, right?
Right.
So Mr. Satan comes on stage, the voice actor, and basically his character is OP.
Ooh.
Meaning, so he gets all the abilities. He doesn't need to charge up and go. He doesn't need to do any of that because he gets like Boo, Majin Boo, come to his aid for every time, right? So
right.
So they talk about that in Anime Expo thing, And then they talk about the fact that you'll be able to play the game across America. There'll be events where you guys go from between now to October. You'll be able to play at certain events, certain gaming
Nice,
events, or
nice.
certain events. We do know, like I said before, we do know we're going to come into Evo. That's the biggest fighting gaming event for all fighting game genres. So for that to be there, I think it's a big thing. It's a big deal.
It is. It is.
Like I don't know if they're gonna do like a Budokai Tenkaichi thing where they're like, oh, we're doing a tournament as well. That'd be cool if they did a tournament.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
What do you think, Jay? Here, like, let's be honest, right, Jay? Here, what do you think?
As for me, there's so many ways they could take this. They could go old school. They could add some new elements incorporated from Xenoverse from the Xenoverse. This game has potential. The only way you could mess up this game is if rushing it out, data lags, or anything remotely resembling Sonic 06. And I do not use that reference lightly.
No. This
is a very ambitious project. The entire gaming software and coding is completely overhauled for this product. You can, if there's even the slightest chance of a bug or crash, delay this game, even if it's 2 to 3 months. Do not take any chances.
Mind you, this game has been in production for a long time.
How do you think we ended up with 20 Xenoverse 2 DLCs? They were buying time for this.
They were buying time for this, and they got it right. First try. First try.
Disney, take notes. This is what happens.
And DC. DC, take notes.
You ain't lying, my friend. You are not lying.
If you're going to delay a game, delay it.
Or just don't put it out at all. Take the tax write-off and cut your losses. Gotham Knights. Oh, excuse me.
It's not Gotham Knights. You meant to say Suicide Squad.
I mean, come on. It's an easy joke. But yes, speaking of that, I think it's time we transition to our next topic.
But before we do switch over to DC, let's just say like this game comes out and it wins Game of the Year. All right.
Right.
Fighting Game of the Year award. Do you think
it's a heavy contender, but there are also some other projects coming out. It'll be a close race.
Mind you, it's not competing with anything else for Fighting Game of the Year.
Oh, okay. Fighting Game of the Year. I thought you meant overall. Okay. Fighting Game of the Year. Yeah, you're right. There aren't that many fighting game projects coming out.
The only thing that's coming out, by the way, is just the Suicide Squad. I was gonna say it's that the game for Sparking Zero will be only competing with Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Wait, what about the new Captain America 1943 game? Oh, that'll be, by the time that comes out, that won't qualify for Game of the Year 2025. That'll be closer to game of the year.
No, that's coming out 2025.
That is coming out 2025. That's not a 2026 release.
No, Sparking Zero is coming out this year.
Okay.
So Sparking Zero comes out at the end of this year, so it qualifies.
Okay.
And it's competing with the likes of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 because they're re-releasing it for console and Switch. So you bet. And I think Steam as well. So I think a lot of people are going to be voting for that alongside Sparking Zero. So it could be up for Game of the Year, Fighting Game of the Year. It's going to be a doozy. So I'll say that.
Definitely. But with that being said, this game should be dead in the water. Like, I've said this multiple times. This game, regardless of the poor and tragic timing that was Kevin Conroy's passing away, regardless of that, let's put nostalgia out the window for a second. Let's just take it over there. This game should have been standalone. If you wanted to market, if this was the main product you could market with the DC extended universe, all that Snyder, whatever have you. If this was the sole IP you could market, this game should have been standalone. The moment you made this Arkhamverse in an attempt to hype it up, that's when you tanked it. Now, if you made, so let's say for the sake of argument, Gotham Knight, that video game Arkhamverse, you probably wouldn't have done that much better in the grand scheme of things. But optics wise, it would have been better than this.
I'll say this. The reason why Suicide Squad is the way it is right now is to the thanks of Jamie Walker and Sefton Hill, who jumped the gun at the opportunity to make a Suicide Squad game than a single player story driven game. Right?
Right.
They didn't want to go back to the forte of making a single player game. And I said this before, with Mrs. Freeze coming out, you already got half of your fan base aren't gonna come back.
Right.
You're only gonna get like the one or two people that come back and play it, but then like myself and Jared just playing it for the sake of it, right?
Right.
But you're not gonna get anybody else to come back and play it, and that's a fact. And it releases Thursday, guys. Thursday coming up. Myself and Jared will be streaming it, so we just hope it doesn't be a big of a grind like it did last time. You there?
Hopefully. I'm here. I just froze for a second.
Yeah, your webcam froze.
Yeah, I just froze for a second. But
maybe switch off your webcam and then.
Okay. I just need to figure out what's going on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Yeah.
Okay. While I'm adjusting that. Okay, I have no idea what that was about. While I'm adjusting this, my feelings on this so far, this could go either way. Like, you might get some new viewers, you might not, more than likely not, but I'm just not a fan of the design. If I'm being truly honest with myself.
Let me get the image. Let me get the image for you. 1 second. Uno momento.
While we're waiting on that, granted, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's a pretty bland design, all things considered.
All right, here we go. Can you screen share?
Like I said, I don't even know. I've seen worse, mind you. I have seen worse.
So this is Mrs. Freeze. You get Superman and Flash boss fights. I think it's a combined boss fight. And then what else you get? You get new battle passes. Then episode 4, you get a Green Lantern and Superman fight.
Okay.
Boss fight. Brainiac boss fight. New incursion. And they're bringing back the Arkham Knight Harley Quinn skin.
Now, this is just desperate. This is just desperate.
Yeah, this game is dead in the water. I'm sorry. You still there?
I'm still here. I was just trying to check on my webcam. But while I'm trying to adjust that, all I'm gonna say on this currently is that there's no objective way to save this game. I'm just gonna be completely honest. It's dead.
Yeah.
Now you might. If you really want this, if you want the skin that badly, just go play Arkham Knight. You're just better off. You get a better story, better gaming experience. And how many times are we going to spam the same Brainiac fight? You might as well just go for the whole story mode all over again.
It's like I thought they would have done a Batman Brainiac boss fight. You know?
I mean, at least people would at least be somewhat intrigued by that.
But we're not even getting that. And it's like Warner Brothers, do you know do you know what you're even doing?
Your guess is
Like,
as good as mine. Though, to be fair, Warner Brothers has not made the most solid business decisions as of late.
no, they have not made the right decision. Like, I'm sorry that this is stupid and dumb. So
Yeah, it's just, and it's not even Mrs. Reed, because even in the comics, Nora does actually become the new Mrs. Freeze. Both, I don't think it was post crisis, but definitely in the New 52. And the way the Harley Quinn show handled it, it was fine. It actually gave Victor a nice send off in the context of that verse and show. But I just feel like Nora's arc going from grieving widow to rebellious party girl to cope with Victor's demise, and then they didn't really do enough with Nora, in my opinion, to warrant that emotional payoff from that episode. Granted, Nora doesn't have much agency in most adaptations to begin with, but they really didn't do a whole lot with her.
no, it didn't. This is why I think that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League should be shelved. At least, like, if you got content coming out for the game, don't do any content for the game. Just
Or at
cancel the
least try to
game.
rebrand in some way. Look at Suicide Squad Isekai. Like two, maybe three. I think 2 episodes of that anime are out right now, and it's doing okay. I mean, it's fun for what it is, but it's still telling a singular overarching story rather than trying to copy or mooch off current. I say that with quotations. Video game trends. In terms of actual trend and momentum, outside of people who actually grew up with like Fortnite, Overwatch, Apex, other than kids who actually grew up with it, the fad faded out 7 years ago.
Yeah, but I just think the way things are going, I'm not gonna lie. If I was um if I was WB, I would look at Wonder Woman right now and start promoting that.
I'd agree.
Like, no, not gonna lie.
I would not blame you.
So, I'm gonna say this before we wrap up and talk about another subject. Really, um, I'll say this: Suicide Squad, Killer Justice League. With that game having DLC, it's not gonna last a month. It's probably gonna last 15 days, and then it's gonna drop off again. Right?
Right.
That's what I think. It's gonna have 15 days or less, and it's not gonna make any more money from that. Right?
Right.
Um. Anyway, there is one other topic I did want to talk about.
Okay.
Hold on one second. So as I was saying, sorry about that. As I was
Take your
saying,
time.
uh, where is it? Wonder Woman did get leaked, right?
Right.
And my God, that leak was big.
Whew. Would you like to break the news, Taladia?
Well, we didn't talk about it on your channel. We talked about it on my channel. Essentially,
Okay.
WB put out a survey, and they accidentally leaked the synopsis for the game and the fact of what you're going to be doing in the Wonder Woman game. So it's like, Warner Brothers, why do that? And then, funnily enough, anybody that covered the game got DMCA'd if you showed images.
Dang.
Yeah. So Warner Brothers, I don't know what you're playing at here, but from what I'm seeing and whatnot, you guys should focus on trying to get this Wonder Woman game and more footage out there. We want more stuff for that game, and I think if I had to guess, Gamescom is coming right around the corner. It's a perfect opportunity for you guys to get the announcement of its release window saying 2025 and then get everyone hyped up for it because Marvel is overtaking you. That's the difference. Marvel has already got like 2 games coming out next year. You know that, right?
Right. Captain America 1943
Yeah.
and Marvel versus Capcom.
No. So you got Marvel 1943
Okay.
next year, and then potentially you also got Marvel Rivals potentially coming out next year as well.
That is true. I
Because
forgot about that title.
Marvel Rivals is literally it's going to be a free to play game, but currently it's in like closed beta or whatever, and they're doing like Marvel Rivals is currently doing like this closed beta testing where people from consoles get to play the game for the first time, and it's only for a few days until beginning of August, and then after August finishes, hold on, let me double check what the date was, because I can double confirm that with you. Um, okay, so it's from July 23rd to August 5th,
July
2024.
23rd to August 5th. Okay.
That is for Marvel Rivals. And I think if I was if I was if I was Warner if not Warner if I was Warner Brothers, yes. If I was Warner Brothers, I'd be like saying taking full advantage of saying, okay, we're gonna have to do something for Wonder Woman at this point. Marvel are doubling down and they're tripling down with their games. They've got the Blade game, they've got Marvel Wolverine, you've got 1943, you've got Marvel Rivals. There's so many games that Marvel are doing.
Right.
Where's the Superman game? Where's the Wonder Woman games? Where's the Batman games? Like, yes, I get you getting Batman Arkham Shadow literally coming out at the end of this year, but that's a MetaQuest 3 VR game exclusive for that, and it's not a console game, so you basically halved your audience there.
I agree.
That's the big middle finger to the Arkham fans. I'm sorry. That's a big middle finger to the Arkham fans.
But I think I want to ask the main question here. Do you
Yeah.
think, in your opinion, since you and Jared play it so consistently, do you think this game has a chance of not of at least gaining momentum from the where we can see the remaining 3 DLCs, or would you say that this game's dead in the water and they should just crap them out within the year or so?
Well, this game's already dead in the water from the get-go. Like, this game has already been dead in the water since they made the article about it.
Oh, it's a financial flop. There's no refuting that.
No. There was another article that made about the game's content and whatnot, right?
Right.
They are going to continue on with the DLC, but the fact is, this game's dead and buried now. There's nothing that Marvel Rivals. Sorry, Marvel. Why am I saying Marvel Rivals? I meant to say Suicide Squad Killer Justice League can resuscitate itself. Resuscitate itself and bring life to the game. There's no way of that happening, and there's so many reasons why, but the main reason is basically because it's a looter shooter. Um, it's a looter shooter based game, and the fact that the Arkham fan base did not like with the direction they were going, that was the main problem. That's why I've said this from day one. Like, I thought they were going in a good direction when they played the closed alpha, because I thought maybe they'll do a longevity, like a 10-hour story, which they never did. It wasn't even a 10-hour game. And that's what really annoyed me, is the fact that they not made it a 10-hour game. So the stories, the people will still get to play the story once they close the servers, and they'll be able to play the DLC when the DLC drops. But after that fifth season, because there's 5 seasons, according to Miller Ross has actually said this on my stream. He says, you've got the Mrs. Freeze, then you've got Lola, Deadshot's daughter, then you've got um, then you've got um, Deathstroke. Literally, those are the three DLCs you got coming out, and then season 5 is essentially Superman coming back. So, what can Warner Brothers do to really turn this around? Focus on single player games and getting people back to the single player experience. And I would say do a single player Justice League game. That would win back. That would win fans over. Either do that or do a different type of Batman game that is not set in the Arkhamverse. Don't tie it to the Arkhamverse, because you're gonna have that problem that people will say, "Oh, what can you really do between Arkham Asylum, sorry, Arkham Knight and Arkham Suicide Squad? What can you really do? Because you're gonna have to change the voice actor. There's all of that problems there, right?
Right.
And another thing too, if I was in Warner Brothers' shoes, I would just decanonize this game at all costs. Don't canonize it. You know how they did with Arkham Origins, where they did not canonize that game until years later.
I see where you're coming from.
They need to do that with this game.
But even from the get-go, Arkham Origin was relatively standalone. You didn't need it for the overall trilogy, but I get your point.
No. They had to canonize it. They had to canonize it because of the events, right?
Right.
What's up, Cinema Theater King?
Oh, what's up?
He says how
first comment of the night.
He says, how are you enjoying everything? Yeah, we did talk about Dragon Ball. We talked about that at the beginning of the stream. If you want to rewind, but now we're just talking about a bit of DC stuff, because I know that Jay Heap missed out on the news on Mrs. Freeze being announced and the whole ordeal there. So we really want to have a discussion on that.
And while we're bringing that up, speaking of DC, how do you feel about Absolute Power so far? Do you feel like it's warranted? Are you just sick of Amanda Waller getting so much of a push?
Nah, I just don't like this Absolute Power thing.
I'm gonna hold my reservations on you. I see where you're coming from. Too much Waller, but there's only this, like, the event kicked off officially like last week. We don't really know too much now from other media. Go ahead.
I'd rather wait to see how things plan out for the comics, but I'm not looking forward to it because it's not looking good. Let's put it like this: DC have been down the can I say the?
Go ahead. You can curse on my channel. Go ahead.
It's down the shitters. That's the best way to put it. Down the shitters. Since I would say the event
post Death Metal, they have been on a steady decline since Death Metal.
Yeah, they haven't really increased in numbers. And then this all includes for the stuff for the video games and stuff, because they're going back. Would you believe they're making a mobile game based on the Batman Who Laughs? And I'm just like, why do a video game based on that?
Your guess is as good as mine. I guess because it's Batman and a Batman adjacent character, they could, boost some numbers, which is a tactic in of itself, but that's not going to do anything long term.
But it's like here's the thing though. When you look at the comics and everything, they're gonna go absolutely nuts with it. Just like they did with Suicide Squad, they're gonna go absolutely nuts with the game. But I just think when it comes down to the comics and everything right now, it's not looking good. And I haven't been reading into the new comics because I'm just waiting for the alternate universe to get announced. That's what I'm waiting for.
But will it be an alternate universe, or did the higher order editorial decide, okay, we need to reboot
No,
this shit?
no, no. It's actually alternate universe.
Okay, so it is an Elseworld. Have you found any sources to confirm that, or is that just the most likely outcome?
From what I've just heard from Jared, really, I like Jared was the one who said that, most likely scenario it would be like an Elseworld thing, right?
Right?
Because they have like the main timeline, they'll continue on doing the main timeline, and they won't reboot it. But if the absolute universe, um, absolute universe comes into fruition, and basically that universe does really well and overtakes the main continuity in numbers, then that will take over the main continuity. Cinema Theater King says Absolute Power is boring. I know they potentially will use this as reference in Absolute Universe, where Amanda Waller does the maker and she decides who gets the powers.
I see where you're coming from, Cinema King Theater. I see where you're coming from, but that's basically just ripping off Ultimates in Ultimate Spider-Man. That is directly ripping off that story. That is way too obvious.
Yeah.
Ideally, they won't go that route, but I would not be surprised if they did.
She wants to get control of the people who gets it. She will be basically using it as a backup universe since 3 failed. Now, all I'm saying is though, for like the alternate universe, it won't be like the main continuity. I don't think Amanda Waller will be there, right? I don't think Amanda Waller will be a big deal for that. But since Jay Heat will be right back, I'm taking over the stream. By the way, get rid of the banner if you're still here. You're muted.
Sorry about that, folks. I just had to switch to another browser and come right back. So unfortunately, we probably lost a number in viewership, probably since we changed topics.
It is movie theater. Yeah, I know who you are, movie theater king. That's why I call you movie theater king.
Yeah, you changed names on us. We see that. But I see where you're coming from, and I appreciate the passion. But that is just way too obvious. Like, I think, and yes, the big two have taken pot shots and ripped each other off from time to time, but not entire story beats. Maybe a character design or a secret identity / name here and there. But you have not seen, at least in recent years, where they've actively directly ripped off each other's storylines. They may have taken similar concepts, but they have not copied the other verbatim. At least not that I've seen. So, Claudia, have you seen that?
No.
But I will say this though. Ultimately, I will say this though. Okay, this is going to Twitter. Okay. Ultimately, I do see potential in that route, and that's just not the. Hopefully, they won't go in that direction, in my opinion. But I just wanted a quick comment on the modern comics and that whole thing, especially. And don't worry, my DCs. I did end up having to do a solo DC solicitation due to scheduling constraints. So, and that had to be pre-recorded. So that will be coming out in the next couple of days. But Taladia, anything you want to promote before we wrap up?
Yeah. So I have got like my my adventure with Superman reaction stream, hopefully with Jared if he's available. Where myself and Jared will be reacting to the episode 8, and it's the death of Clark Kent. So
wait. So you're already on. Wait, this for my adventure with Superman? Okay, this next coming episode. Yeah. Okay,
next coming episode. Yes.
As for me, I have watched the new season, but I might not actually cover it on the channel. The reason I say that is because I'm just not a big fan of the show in general. Granted, it's a decent, nice kids first Superman story, but it's just and there's nothing wrong with having Lois and Jimmy and making an ensemble piece, but you're just retreading old ground for the sake of drama. And I mean, come on, we got 10 episodes, speed things up a little bit. But again, syndication, streaming is different from active television syndication. It's a completely different business model. So that might be some of my nostalgia talking, but I'm just not a big fan of the show. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but I'm not gonna say it's great either.
Yeah.
But okay, any final thoughts, Taladia?
I'll just say this, right? So we're doing My Adventure with Superman tomorrow, and then I'm also going to be doing next week is Snyder Fans Read Comics. So I'll be covering New 52, The Grid, Justice League The Grid. So I can't wait to talk about that.
Nice. And stay tuned for my DeCamu retrospective, which will finally be out. Again, that was another pre-recorded video, but I had to edit it, and then me posting it got delayed. But I'm finally in a position to where I have some time and I can upload it. So stay tuned for that. Also, I will go ahead and announce this now. There will not be after this coming weekend, next weekend and this coming weekend, there will not be Mass Effect Saturday to cover Mass Effect 3 because I had some technical problems. So I have to restart that playlist. So I'm going to once the Mass Effect 2 content is on the channel, I'll take a week off. That'll give me some time to, go through some files and, see if I can restore it. But if not, I'll just start a completely separate playthrough with the same character, with the same Shepard. I'll just have to play the game over again. Hopefully I can avoid that. But again, you also check me out on jheat75 on Twitter or jheat751 on Twitch if you want to catch my other gaming content. And anything else, Saladia?
Not much. Just all I gotta say is like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys on another Blazing Shonen episode where we'll be talking about Evo 2024 next.
Flame off.